One evening, while I was cooking dinner, I got a text from my girlfriend. She said, "Things feel complicated. I need some space to think. Please don't contact me for a while. I'll reach out when I'm ready." Just like that. It hit me like a truck. Space. That's rarely a good sign. Still, I wanted to be a good guy. I replied and told her I understood and would give her the time she needed. I didn't hear another word after that. I spent the next few days wandering around the apartment like a zombie, trying to understand what went wrong. I was hurt and confused. But I gave her space. My name's Andy, I'm 32, and my girlfriend Megan, she's 27. We had been together for close to 3 years and living in my apartment for the past year. I thought things were going okay. Maybe a little off here and there, but nothing serious. Definitely nothing that made me think we were on the verge of a breakup. And then Megan sent me that message out of the blue. Then Saturday night rolled around. I was bored, flipping through Instagram, trying not to think too hard, when I saw it. A friend of ours had posted some photos. There she was, Megan, laughing, looking happy on a beach somewhere tropical. And standing right beside her, her ex, Tyler. His arm around her like they were together. The caption said something like, "Living our best life. Island vibes. Reunited and happy." It felt like ice water in my veins. So that's what space meant. A beach trip with her ex while I sat at home respecting her wishes. She told me to stay away so she could go play house with the guy she swore was out of her life. That's when the heartbreak turned into something sharper. It wasn't just pain anymore. She didn't want time to think. She wanted to test the waters with someone else while keeping me waiting in the background, living in my place, using my stuff, expecting I'd still be around when she got bored. That's not how I roll. If she wanted space, she could have it, for real. So I called a locksmith and had the locks changed, both the handle and the deadbolt. Cost me around $200, but it gave me peace of mind. Her key was useless now. Then I turned my attention to the car. This needs a bit of backstory. About 5 months earlier, Megan's old car finally died. She needed something reliable for work. She's in social media marketing and has meetings all over town. Her credit was not in great shape, so I helped her out. I bought a used Toyota for around 17 grand. Everything, loan, title, insurance, was in my name. The agreement was she would make payments to me and treat it like her car, which she did, mostly. She decorated it like it was hers, little stuffed animals, air fresheners, all that. But legally, it was mine. I still had the spare key. I took the car to a dealership I trust. Told them I needed to sell it and explained the situation. Since everything was in my name, they said no problem. They gave it a quick look and offered around $14,500, pending a full inspection. I signed the paperwork and left it with them to finish the process. Then I grabbed a taxi home. Her parking spot back at the apartment. Empty. Her belongings still in the closet in the spare room. I didn't toss anything. That felt too petty. But I wasn't going to let her waltz back into my place like nothing happened. She had made it very clear she didn't want contact. Strangely, I felt calm and focused. Like I was finally doing the right thing for myself. Yeah, deep down it still hurt. I felt like a fool. But it was no longer about emotion. It was about doing what made sense. She went on vacation with her ex. So she made her choice. All I did was protect what was mine. According to her Instagram, her little tropical escape still had another week to go. So I waited. I was curious to see what would happen when she got back, and her key didn't work. Monday night, around 8 o'clock, it happened. I was on the couch watching television, trying not to think too hard about it, when I heard the sound of keys jingling outside. Then came the sound of a key in the lock, scratching, twisting. Then silence. Then more frantic twisting. Then came the banging. "Andy, what the hell is going on? Open the door." It was her. She sounded annoyed. I walked up to the door, took a breath, and cracked it open with the chain still on. There she was. Sun-kissed, suitcase beside her, clearly not expecting this. "My key isn't working. Did you change the lock?" I looked at her and said calmly, "Yeah. I did." She just stood there, looking at me like I'd lost my mind. In a soft but stunned voice, she asked, "What? Why would you change the locks?" I stayed calm. "You told me you needed space. You asked me not to contact you. So I honored that. You've got your space, for good." Her brows drew together. "What are you even talking about?" "I needed time to think, that's all. You can't just lock me out." I looked her straight in the eye. "I saw the vacation pictures, Megan. You and Tyler seemed pretty cozy. I guess you did your thinking down there." In an instant, the look on her face shifted, from irritation to panic, and then to anger. "That trip wasn't what it looked like," she said quickly. "Tyler and I are just friends." I raised an eyebrow. "Right. Friends, who go on romantic beach vacations together. Got it." "You're being ridiculous," she snapped. "Let me in. My stuff is inside." "And where's my car?" Her eyes darted to the driveway where her car was usually parked. It was gone. "Where is my car, Andy?" she demanded. The entitlement in her voice was almost laughable. Like she thought everything would be sitting there untouched, waiting for her return. I was done playing that game. "First off," I said, "this is my apartment. And second, the car was never yours. I bought it. It's in my name. And I'm selling it. Right now it's at a dealership." Her jaw dropped open. "You're selling my car? You can't do that. I paid for it." "No, Megan," I told her. "You made payments to me, because I let you use it. But it was always mine. My name's on the title, the loan, and the insurance. You didn't buy it, I did. And the sale is already in motion." She lost it then. "This is insane. You're stealing from me. I'm calling the police." She pulled out her phone, ready to dial. I shrugged. "Go for it. Let them know that your ex-boyfriend changed the locks on his own apartment after you asked for space and disappeared with another ex. Then tell them he's selling his own vehicle, legally his, registered to him, title in his name. Let's see how far that goes." She stopped. The phone hovered in her hand, and her face twisted in frustration. "You're awful," she hissed. "You planned this, didn't you?" I kept my cool. "No, Megan. You planned a getaway with your ex while asking me not to contact you." I simply responded. "I respected your request, and now I'm doing what I need to do." That's when her cousin showed up. Alyssa, 24, came walking up the path like she had been waiting in the wings for her cue. "What's happening?" she asked, clearly annoyed. "Why is Megan locked out?" Megan turned to her like she'd been waiting for backup. "He locked me out. He's selling my car. He's throwing me out after everything." Alyssa's eyes landed on me, full of judgment. "Seriously? After all she's done for you, you just boot her out like this?" I shook my head. "This is my home. That car was mine. And she went on vacation with her ex-boyfriend while asking me to give her space. We are done." Alyssa crossed her arms. "She needed time. You're supposed to support her, not punish her." "Support her while she cheats on me?" I asked. "No thanks. She made her choice." Megan cut back in, suddenly yelling, "I want my stuff. Now." I looked at the time. "It's late. Not happening. Send me a text with a day and time." I'll box everything and leave it by the door. You won't be stepping past the entryway. You don't get to decide that, she shouted. Yes, I do. This is how things work now. You wanted no contact, this is the new contact. Then I closed the door. My hands were shaking just a little, from the adrenaline, from the tension, but mostly from relief. It was over. That part, at least. I could hear them outside for a few more minutes. Megan was yelling. Alyssa was trying to calm her down but was clearly making things worse. Eventually, they left. That night I stayed up and packed everything that belonged to Megan. Her clothes, her books, her makeup, her knickknacks, everything. I stacked the boxes by the front door. Honestly, it felt good. Like cleaning out a wound before it can heal. A couple days later, at Tuesday, the dealership called. They had finished the full inspection on the Toyota. The final offer was $14,250, a little less than before due to the condition of the tires. I went in, signed over the title, and walked out with a check. Deposited it right away. It felt like I had finally closed a heavy chapter in my life. One that cost me more than I expected, but gave me some real clarity. The only thing left now was the pickup. And I was not expecting it to be peaceful. Later that night, I got a message. Not from Megan, from Alyssa's phone. Megan needs her stuff tomorrow at 9 a.m. Be ready. No greeting, just a demand. I wrote back one word, okay. If I thought things would calm down, I was wrong. What came next was even more over the top than before. At exactly 9 in the morning, right on schedule, I heard a knock at the door. It wasn't Megan. It was Alyssa, and their mom, Deborah. Apparently, Megan was too upset to come to the door herself and was waiting in the car. Deborah wasted no time. Tears already forming as she spoke. Andy, how could you do this to her? After 3 years together. She loves you. I looked her straight in the eye. If she loved me, maybe she wouldn't have gone off on a romantic trip with her ex while telling me to leave her alone. Deborah tried again. She was confused. She made a mistake. You should forgive her. And selling her car? That was just cruel. She needs it for work. I stepped aside and motioned toward the boxes stacked near the door. That car was mine, Deborah. She doesn't get to betray me and expect everything to stay the same. Actions have consequences. Here's her stuff. This is everything I could find. Deborah sniffed and gave me a disapproving glare. We'll need to go through the closets and the bathroom. No, I said. Everything's right here in the entryway. You can take it all. But you're not stepping further into my place. Come on, Andy. Don't be unreasonable, Deborah said, her voice sharp. What if you missed something in the boxes? I just looked at her. Then that's unfortunate. But here's the deal, you stand out here, I stay right here, and you take what's packed. That's it. I could tell they wanted to push past me. Maybe dig around, maybe find something valuable they could say I hid or forgot. But I wasn't letting that happen. They grumbled under their breath, but they didn't fight me on it. Instead, they got to work hauling the boxes out. Took them 3 trips to get everything down to the car. And the whole time, Deborah kept going, lecturing me about how heartless I was, how Megan was destroyed, and how I owed her something for the car. I stayed quiet except for repeating, it was my car. She didn't seem to hear me. Just kept pushing the same lines, demanding money, painting me as the bad guy. After they left, the texts started rolling in. Most were from Megan now. The tone switched back and forth. 1 minute it was, I miss you. I made a huge mistake. Please take me back. The next minute it was rage, you owe me for the car. That was my money. I'll see you in court. I ignored the emotional messages. But to the financial demands, I sent a single reply. Megan, the car was purchased, financed, and insured in my name. Legally, it belongs to me. Your payments were for usage, consider it like rent. This conversation is over. Then I blocked her, Alyssa and Deborah. But of course, that didn't stop it. Soon, mutual friends, mostly people from her social circle, started messaging me, clearly already fed a twisted version of the story. Their tone was judgmental. Dude, I heard what you did to Megan. That's cold, man. You just sold her car. Yeah, I could see the smear campaign had begun. I explained the truth to a few people who I thought might actually listen, how she asked for space, how she vacationed with her ex, and how the car was always mine on paper. Some understood. Some clearly didn't care and had already picked a side. That was fine. People believe what they want to believe. Then came the next low blow. Yesterday, my building manager called me into the office. They had gotten an anonymous complaint about noise, screaming, arguments, disturbances coming from my apartment. Someone said there had been confrontations and they were concerned. My stomach dropped for a moment. This wasn't random. It was a setup. Thankfully, I've always had a good relationship with the manager. I told them the truth. My ex-girlfriend, who used to live with me but was never on the lease, had recently moved out after a breakup. Yes, there was some shouting outside the door when she discovered I'd changed the locks, and yes, her family came by for a pickup. But everything was supervised, and nothing happened inside the apartment. She doesn't live here anymore. The manager nodded, took some notes, and told me not to worry unless more complaints came in. It wouldn't go anywhere unless something else happened. Still, I was pretty sure that anonymous tip came from either Megan or Alyssa. Just another attempt to stir up trouble. The next weird twist came from Tyler. He sent me a message request on Instagram. I didn't open it. I just deleted it and blocked him. I don't need any smug apologies or fake concern from the guy who helped blow up my relationship. Honestly, all these stunts, Megan's messages, the gossip, the noise complaint, just confirmed I had made the right decision. They didn't make me feel guilty. They made me feel certain. This wasn't just a bad choice Megan made. This was who she was. The drama, the manipulation, the entitlement, it wasn't going to stop. But I wasn't playing along anymore. I'm not out here trying to get back at anyone. I'm just done. And reality? That's their problem now. My place is quiet again. The lease is in my name alone. The complaint went nowhere. The car is sold. Money in my account. Every bit of it was legally handled and above board. Her belongings gone. I've blocked every number and every social profile. From now on, any threats or attempts to mess with my life go straight to my lawyer. Yes, I already consulted one. Just to be safe. They looked over everything and confirmed I'm on solid ground. The car was mine. The apartment's mine. And all her demands are empty. They really thought they could bully their way back into the life she torched. But that door is closed now. What I'm doing these days is cleaning up. Not just my apartment, but my head, my peace of mind. It hurts to realize someone you shared a home with could treat you this way. That they could lie, cheat, then try to spin it so you look like the bad guy. But I'm glad I see it now. Better late than never. It's been about 1 month since Megan came back from her space-seeking trip with Tyler. And let me tell you, things have finally quieted down, mostly because I refused to keep feeding into the circus. Figured I'd share how it all wrapped up. The smear campaign kept rolling for a little while. I lost a few mutual friends, but let's be real, they were more her friends than mine. If they bought her version without even asking me what really happened, then I'm better off without them. The people who mattered, my actual friends, the ones who've known me long before Megan, stuck by me. They listened, they saw how messed up it all was, and they backed me up 100%. At one point, Megan tried to take it a step further. I got a letter from some bottom-tier attorney, looked like something out of a Google template. She was demanding $12,000 for her contributions to the car and for emotional distress. It was full of typos, barely made sense legally. I handed it over to the lawyer I'd already talked to. They put together a very polite, very professional response. It included everything, copies of the title, loan, insurance, all in my name. A breakdown of how her payments counted as usage costs. In fact, by some mileage estimates, she actually owed me. We also included screenshots of her original text asking for space, along with public posts from her island vacation with Tyler, time-stamped and very public. The letter closed with a warning: if she kept making false claims or tried anything else, I'd file for legal fees and a restraining order. Especially after the complaint to my landlord, which we considered harassment. After that, nothing. Radio silence. I'm guessing her cheap lawyer realized she had no case. She couldn't afford to push it, especially not without me footing the bill. Later, through a friend who still talks to someone in her circle, I found out what happened next. Megan crashed with Alyssa for a while, but it didn't take long for that to fall apart. Apparently, Megan expected Alyssa to take care of her, financially and otherwise. Didn't help out, didn't work. That got old fast. As for Tyler, surprise, he bailed. Once the vacation was over and the reality of Megan's situation set in, he was gone. No relationship or support. Just a fun trip. She even tried going to her parents again, Deborah, mostly, pulling the guilt card for money. Probably got some. But not enough to fix the mess she made. I'm good. I've got my peace, my apartment, my money, and most importantly, my self-respect. The doors closed and bolted. From what I've heard, Megan ended up moving back to her hometown. She's living with her parents again. Apparently, all she does is complain about how unfair everything is, how I ruined her life. There's no sign of reflection, no hint of regret. Just the same old self-centered attitude. No ownership of what she did. No apology. Just full-blown victim mode, like she had no part in how it all went down. It was never about revenge, not the loud, messy kind, anyway. This wasn't about rage or getting even. It was quiet. I just gave her exactly what she asked for, space. And then I let her own choices catch up to her. She wanted distance. She got all the space in the world. She chose to chase after her ex. Fine, let her deal with the mess on her own. She leaned on me, my place, my help, my car, and treated it all like it was owed to her. She lost it the moment she broke the trust it was built on. She did not just lose me. She lost the security she took for granted. She lost the lifestyle she assumed she deserved, on my dime. She thought she could play both sides. Keep me on standby while she tested the waters with someone else. She thought I'd just wait. She thought wrong. She gambled everything and lost. And when the consequences hit, her entitlement didn't save her. That's the most satisfying part of all. The simple truth catching up with her. Megan's out of my life for good. And now, I finally get to move forward.